Hey friends, it is January 4th at almost 1 a.m. I've been up because you know how it is when you're right at the end of the project and you just gotta finish it? And I knew I would, so I did. I want to share, so I'm going to share. I'm going to start by telling you about a story. Back when I was in junior high, high school, mostly high school. Yeah, high school. In the last century, it cracks me up every time. Back in the 80s, my mom was teaching in public school settings, and she found that the sewing kits for teenagers, for anybody really, but teenagers were severely lacking and impractical and kind of dumb. So she determined, she set about, determined to make a difference and came up with a couple kits like wind socks, barrel bags slash duffel bags, and teddy bears. And there are some teddy bears around. My kids have some of those still, and I believe my grandson has, that some of my grandkids have some as well that maybe my mother made for them, and maybe they were ones that had been made for my brother or dad, passed on. But regardless, anyway, teddy bears are not the story of today's talk, but the barrel slash duffel bag is. Now, reason that this is because last time I was up there or so, in a pile of things that I brought home was one red duffel bag. I am not sure where the directions went or if I got them. Doesn't really matter. Pretty much know how to do this. In fact, even if I had piping, I would know how to do it with piping on it and making it all fancy, look professional, whatever. Didn't really care. Wasn't my plan today. Yeah, didn't care. Also, I knew I did not want it round. So, in the spirit of my normal way of operating, I decided to totally change it up and make a rectangle bag and put some extra goodies on it. Mom's design was a very basic duffel bag, roll barrel bag, and it came with a rectangle of fabric, two round circles, a strip of webbing that somehow is supposed to make some straps on it, not a problem, and a piece of zipper just longer than the short length of the rectangle. So, knowing that I did not want a circle, I started with the rectangle piece anyway, and I sewed the zipper on so that it turned it into a barrel or a circle or whatever shape I decided to make it by adding corners. Yep. So then I squared or rectangled my circle out using some sewing tools that I have. Gosh, I love sewing, measuring things. Like rulers, quilting rulers, whatever you'd like to call them, that are 6 by whatever, 4 by whatever. I have a variety and I use a plethora of them, way more than I need to, but it's so much fun. I love it. Anyway, so instead of a circle, this is my ode to kick back to mom's sewing days and my never following directions and going my own way every single time. Yes, I know, strange. I'm sure you all have a hard time believing that. Anyway, here's my bag. It is approximately 15, I think, inches wide. I forgot to measure, but I'm going to go with 15, and all my rulers are over there. It is 8.5 inches tall, 6 inches wide, and like I said, approximately 15 inches wide. Forgot to measure, but we're gonna go with it. Here's where I put the zipper in first. So it still has this opening. Yeah, the zipper works really well, actually. Has the one opening at the top, which is kind of why I didn't really want to do the round one, but it's okay. We're working with it. So one of the things, like I said, pockets. So I have pockets on all four sides of this bag, but none, not a single one, is accessible from the outside. You've got to get into the bag to get into the pockets. So I figured this would make this a really great travel bag. Nothing is accidentally going to fall out, and nobody can get into your bag or my bag without getting into the zipper, which can easily, I can zip, padlock, small padlock, or use a hook, even this hook, and going through both the D-ring and the zipper pull, carabiners, locks, all kinds of things. Just, slow somebody down, tie a knot with a ribbon. So I did change it up from this to this because I already had this when I went looking at my hardware stash. The D-rings came with the pattern along with these little pieces here, which I am noticing I need to put a little more secure stitching on those, as now that we're getting some pull on it. But I already had this all put together, so I did not see a reason to swap it out, but I sure could if I wanted it white instead of black. Decided to leave it black as it would show slightly less dirt traveling, throwing it out by the pool, or whatever else. On the ends, because I squared the circle, it made the piece slightly too short, which I knew would happen. So when I squared it off, I stitched it down. It is inside like this. So this would be a great place to drop your sunglasses or other things that even a water bottle. I thought it was a great idea, instead of being on the outside. So it would also be a secure place to hold your water bottles up straight. So not really tall ones because, again, the bag is 8.5 inches. But still, one on each side. Okay? One on each side. Also, I figure I could put flip-flops in here, a wet swimsuit, things like that, because both the red fabric and obviously the clear plastic are waterproof. So that's those two pockets. Now, knowing that I am all about the extra pockets, hidden pockets, multi-use pockets, and etc., the next pocket I did goes on this side. It goes clear across this whole back. It's stitched to the bottom right at that bottom crease, and then side to side. So it is that whole entire side, and it is a big one of, again, clear plastic all the way across, piece of ribbon at the top, just for fun. So there's a big whole one there. I could put file folders, and to keep them separated and dry from everything else. Even if I was out in a downpour or anything like that, it would definitely keep them dry. The fold over flap is over this edge, so it would be really hard to actually get something unless there was like literally liquid poured into the bag. So that's on one side. Dirty clothes, separation, whatever, because I think this just be a great weekend bag. Anyway, the other pocket on this side is not quite as big. It's almost as tall, going way down. But then in addition, down here, there's also two pockets that I put in that are, one of them I can slide my wallet into. The other one not quite, but other small little things. They're gusseted, so it'll hold something a little bit thick. They're not zippered or anything. I figure that's okay. I see this more of like a weekend bag, or could use it for a small carry-on if I didn't really need a whole lot with me. Spare extra carry-on last minute. Pool, wet clothes, weekender. Anyway, so this is my very exciting, cute little bag, and I could put a piece of plastic across the bottom holding it very sturdily rectangular. The plastic does give it a lot of shape, and it does stand up on its own, holding its own shape fairly well, even when the tops are pulled. So I am very excited. I'm super excited about this bag. What do you think? Tell me down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Love you, friends.